I'm starting another recording. So I was talking about last night at the lice clinic that I was a bit outre, and that in origin, well, it means something startling, exceeded, outrage, and I don't consider it outrage. I consider me doing something startling is because I can think beyond the provision of religion. I can go where a person in religion won't go. Past. If they won't go past, they can't go for reward. I gotta fix this. I'm gonna try and fix it. Oh, let's see. Anyway. I'm trying to get this going. Continue. 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 Here we go. This should be okay pretty soon. Okay, shit. Alright, hopefully we're back. Anyway, yes, I did something outre. These people had lived in Utah. They're familiar with the Mormon religion. I went to Brigham Young University. We had a dialogue on that. That usual, people want to know first off, are you still Mormon? I say, no, they cured me. I'm happy to be here, and it's my belief you can't give anything other than what you are. And being naive at heart really does not classify at a honest and tone and hone nest HEARTHD. To STE, your saint and your street would be also in case your heart and hearth and your start. What else? So, yes, I did something outre. And I don't really have, I don't know, I have a working knowledge that what I expressed was TMI, too much information, and even brought that to the fore, but I don't have a need to digest, ingest, or make apology to digest and ingest. I don't. The motivation for any of my outre antics when I was younger is, and expressing them now upon reflection, is really because I was rebelling to put myself in my own position. So the only thing that made it seem outre is that I'm like, oh, I'm dealing with earnest people. So And honestly, at this point, that's a little unexpected. You know, earnestly naive, possibly. My cantor, Cantare, my song I sing to me would tend to think that. Earnestly naive. In my reflection, um, and in my own reflection, I'm okay with bridging taboo. Why? Because we only have thief and end use. So, let's get some things down straight. Down straight, trait. HD. Drape the head and hand every thing. you know? What? It was interesting. It's interesting that I'm thinking about it, but I'm still trying to handle a few things. Minnow wants to get outside. I got some sewing to do. And he's probably right. If we're going to play Frisbee today and it's going to rain, we should do this soon. So that's my second little video. I'm going to get this going. The first one. I am, I'm well aware. I am well aware of your little needs. They're big. They're everything. You know what? Part of what's going on is I may have said the word F-R-I-S-B-E, and it's like, don't speak it, because that means now. Why would you speak it unless you mean it? Yes. Let's see, we've got 5.5. I was a little bit like, oh shoot, these people aren't of the world in a way, but so I'm a little bit, I mean not embarrassed, but feeling the sensitivity. Minnow, come here, come here. Come here. I know you're trying to put the bum rush on me. You know that. I know you're trying to put the bum rush on me. Come here, sweetheart. We're going to sit together for a moment. You're putting the bum rush on me because I make a little squeal and make her move faster. Okay, so, a long time ago, I would have sought a person to think I would marry, like her husband, and I would sought a relationship to be in like herself. It's not what I'm seeking now. And certainly when I was in college, my first boyfriend, Nate, he, you know what? It seemed you're in the religion, you're giving a model, and women know how to fit in, men know how to fit in, you cite your mark, okay? First boyfriend in college, Nathan, I thought like, oh yeah, I like Nathan, you see, because you can cite your mark, and because you can see the model, then you can see yourself in the model with who you're looking at, who's expressing fitting in the same model. So, it looked like it would have a future because you could project your vision into it, but I question whether it's your vision. And your provision is already pre-selected. Pros and cons of that. Where's the outre? Where's the taboo? Is it real? Is it not necessary? Has it lent you any value? Have you lent 2 by 2? Well, you have lent 2 by 2 without parallax. You've got 2 by 2, and you've got 2 by 2. It's hyphenated. You do not have 1-on-1, and you can't see that without parallax. So introducing that is also saying, let's look at our taboos, our king taboos, because now not one of you have produced. You've never carried principle. You can't restore what you've never lent to the arbor. The harbor, the hair, the arbor. To be R-E-A-D-O-W-E, because you lent it, A-R-E. D-O-W-E-A-R-E. So there is a huge malfeasant misconception. So getting back to your provision on your end, you haven't lent even. Just saying. So I'm thinking there's a possibility if you're making me do everything. If you're making me pull the value of your relationship of 2 people that are married for no reason, you're not doing your work. Yet you're sustaining your mark and your mart in the competitive time frame because heaven forbid you from prostituting your image. I mean, you're sustaining the competitive time frame that I get to work in without a choice. To work double time, if not quadruple, because it's not just me I'm thinking of now. And thinking of 2, thinking of people that I'm going to stay 2. So why am I not getting paid? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you are to restore the soar. All in the same principle led and pledged doft that you would? No, you didn't. You didn't would. You didn't think in the first place, and you can't when presented. Now, you don't do anything. And yet you present your face as being righteous and proud. And P-R-O-W-E-T, proweight. The row, the straight and narrow arrow, the shit that comes out of your ass, read it. Straight, narrow, arrow. E-N-E-M-E-Y-E. Narrow, marrow, the year, are, the arrow. Okay. 2 R's. O-W-E. So you're stealing identity from the value maker. I don't understand your gig. I do not understand your pride. I do not understand your smugness. Okay. I don't understand what you consider your happiness. I don't understand how you think you get it. I don't understand how you think your ego got it. If you're feeling jealous, that's not my fucking problem. Please understand me being willing to be outre and to address the taboos that you sweep under your hyphenated D hyphen R hyphen U hyphen G hyphen O hyphen D hyphen R hyphen INN hyphen K hyphen T hyphen FIFEND. You push the same hyphenated fuck, tuck, and buck away. And the only pride you have is we pay with our me one eye, but it's hyphenated. You haven't thought through. F hyphen T hyphen, there's your foot. B hyphen, trial balance and tuberculosis hyphen UCK hyphen T. Fuck, buck, and tucked, toft, all hyphenated. And that's your currency to feel fucking petty emotions? You got toffed without thinking of anyone? You never carried principle. And given the opportunity, because you're relying on what you would have havened. I'm saying no. The time is now, and it's obvious you wouldn't have. And your relationship is a mar. It's hyphenated. It's a mar the I, it's a sty the I. S-T-E. Put your hyphens in that. Hyphen Y-E, hyphen D. Down with war. You're not the ID to pass on safe harbor. Harbor, arbor, shore, store. You didn't carry principle one step at a time. You can't restore it. You continue to gel the louse. Make it more solid because you sold those ads. You were part and parcel of them. Leave-end. Put your hyphens in that. What I'm doing is really mainstaying that I'm not that. And getting back to the outre things that I did as a young person was about innately and inherently and instinctively rebelling against the container doft to toft. Even though I did not have the words for it at that time, it was about establishing my reflection for me. Fora, A-M, form and foram, R-A-M. E-V-E-I-N-D. Even vent the head. Event, which is no different than what your competitive time frame is doing. You sustain it. You event the head, but it's all the bastard card. Okay. So you can keep reclaiming back pay, hyphen T, to pay your pate, to pay it for war, hyphen D. Because you need war as your mercantile and commercial industry. You're not really a creator. And if you're just making pretty pictures and pretty products without consciousness, you're vain hyphen nit. N-I-T. Tie the I. The you would eat hyphen T. Eat off and toff the head he would bed oft. D-E hyphen A hyphen D hyphen. Bed doft and be add. Bead doft. Fiefend. The doft is venerable? No, 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 no. Doft is stupid, and he's paid already to stay with his ID to stay stupid. That he could dow with war, that eros is in lust we trust to restore, that your fashion, Bella Hadid, when you show the world your clit lit up with a little red piece of fabric, oops, look what I did in my model shoot. I had a blowout, and good thing my underwear matched my dress, and it was really skinny and barely covered my clit. I'm sure you could find that photograph on the internet. You're basically, Bella Hadid, you are fashioning. You are part of fashion that's hyphenated to dow with war. That conversation is a fucking illusion to restore the sore. People that look on you when you give your value for free, and it's a fee, all container doth to toot toft. What you're getting from this and what you're passing son, you're giving yourself the opportunity to bed doft. And what else? You need to see that this H is hyphenated, it's dowing with war. And if a hyphenated H is paying your way and weight and tear weight, and they can put this on you as a value, they can also pay you and pate you to take it off. For no reason was ever sought or taught. So you're giving a free look to tool a free comment, and I don't know. You know, it's just about deprecating value. You're setting your path that you could only bead and bed doft. And what are you doing with your repass? Well, your currency is to make you look other than those that don't have an admirable body and an abode. And please show us your tits with no real estate, honest real estate to hex expose. The notes I have are more lucid. Perhaps I'll get to them someday. It's war is basically and doft we trust. T-R-U-S-S-T, that's to be strung up, okay? Put that ruse in there, you know. A ruse is, it's your fault. It's false. It's a herring. H-E-E-R-R-I-N-G. E-R-R, that's an error. That's a mistake. So, your fashion is a hyphenated H. If there's any value to your love, whether you believe in Christ or not, you can't make it with people that are trusting doft to create eros. Here's the thing, you've got to dow with war, and you have a conversation to restore the sore. And who's doing it and who's it for? It's for doft to say stupid, because he's already got his money, and he's already got his way for war, hyphen D. It's not going away on Doft's estate, okay? Doft has to believe war is necessary. In that, Doft believes war is necessary, and you, as an example of a model for no reason, flashing skin, and calling it modeling, anything hyphenated, basically your vision of beauty is lust, because Doft is not the beauty to trust without hyphens, and your beauty has not brought a arsenal of inherent value to lend, much less B-E-N-D. T-O-O-L-V, every pound lend has been the date for completion. So, how does this currency sustain itself? Well, here's the thing. Your flashing skin in wearing hyphenated fashion that's dowling with war, and you get a lot of looks for that, and it looks enamored. It's not love. It does not have the capacity to conceive a love, a follow-through, even. And it can pay you to put its tooth on you. It's hyphenated. It can also pay you to take it off. Okay? With no loss in hyphenated artifice. You lose no D value in something that's already made up and dupe. To get toffed. To pet the tooth. Hyphen D. Dow with war, you know? So, on the other end of it, we simply have Rich Rope making pretty pictures and his overhead, people that show you how to, well, this is how you get a really nice shape for a letter, hyphen D, right, Ken Barber? Is that how you do it? We Barber Doft? I cut cute with the hyphens. Because you have to. Why? You don't really have a spine on your own. Your overhead is a shim sham. Shim, him, the missus, shim, sham, shams, seems, the same hand. Oh, shame that she's not polite like us. Your politeness is made dupe and up. You're not really refined. You've simply accrued a glossy image for no reason. You can afford an honest dime. Otherwise, you know, the invitation still stands. Come on to my time with your name in your hand. And the awareness with where you would land. Deftly, D, E, F, L. E-Y-E, put a T in there too. The fly, your framework and fretwork. Inside the content and outside of equal value. We would be a shallow, hello read instead of idiot trying to meet face to face and calling the po-lice-d that he succeed. To front his image because me D-O-I hyphen cry O hyphen T. Mediocrity. Put your hyphens in there. I need mediocrity. Why? It's what you are. Hyphen T. It's what you mated. It's what you meted. Put your hyphens in that. The mate and the meet, they're hyphenated. So you can sit pretty and think you're sitting pretty all you want. But like I said, you're not a zero. You're a zero in theory. It's because I brought you along. You've not made a mark here. You're a zero in theory. What's not a theory to me as my H, O-M-E, as my D, O-M-E, as my C, O-M-E, as my S, O-M-E, I'm 0 and 1. What Rich has, just making pretty pictures, and product, container doff to two toft, looking a lot like that's all he ever saw or taught, to be hyphenated, as with his wife he got, who keeps him in that same position. Why? She needs to benefit for her kids as well, that she has tossed and sought. So you have a better image of sustainability by having me one-eyed doffed to cast a hyphenated LL-T. So you put your kids in a better position to get them money, but you're still marrying them doffed. But if they have money, then they can separate themselves a little bit from the integrity, greedy street level that you're competing on people, actually. And then you're forcing them to behave when you never have, your bed never haved. So it's really not your right to say in knave or in ink for anyone to behave among you, because you, number one, don't think. And you know, so you're passing off blame, and with that blame, B-L-am-E-D doff to seek among you. You're also recasting your image and your sympathy for no reason, and your pi-T -H -E-YE -ID you have no reason to celebrate. You don't want to. One-on-one. Okay? And your emotions are false, so is your sympathy. So there was the Manchester bombing at the Ariana Grande concert, and I saw the celebrities with their token missives, which really are dismissals of, you've not lent, John Stamos, you have not lent in follow-through. So your sympathy about the good old times, about kids having a free reprisal to go to a concert. I've been to very few concerts in my life that I can remember. It was 2 or 3. I do think I saw, was it Tears for Fears? I can't remember if they came to the BYU campus. All I remember is I did sneak in. I snuck in prior to the setup and into the arena, and had a conversation with, I don't know, who are the people that do the setup? So I snuck in, yeah. So 2 or 3. I do remember my first concert was Sting. I was a young person. I think I was in high school. I was probably between 12 and 15, and it was nosebleed seats. And the performance was topically on the head, and the players were about this big. And I'm like, oh. You know, to me it wasn't that eventful. I mean, we were the top nosebleed seats, and there was a lot of haze, a lot of smoke, and it kind of like, all right, is that what this is about? Great. Going to concerts liberally and getting away, I'm kind of like, you know what? It's, I don't know, check yourself. Check your income. Check my income. And check doing what I'm doing and not making hyphenated shit up, including my fucking emotions that I pass through the Tao with war. And see what your income is and see what it avails you to do with your free time, even if you have a spare dime. Understanding that Ariana Grande does not pass the dime back, neither do you, John Stamos. So, you know, your pity and your sympathy and your sentimentality is actually quite nihilistic, and in that you egg it on, it's narcissistic. In that you egg it on without any representation. To carry this salutation. I'm just saying. There, Rich wrote, you're not feeling so alone now, are you? Just rope all you rope-a-dopes together. Then you won't feel alone. I'm thinking of you and what you would prefer 2 by 2. It's not a problem for me. To lend you what you desire and seek, need, and is your seed. S-N-E-E-D. There we go. There's something about I think the word is falsely conceived. Because we're speaking on words, but your words were, they have a competitive slant. They were never meant to be even in follow-through. got a number of thoughts. They're all a little bit scattered right now, and my time is a little bit, I'm thinking a number of things, you know, sewing, get that done, get this last page up, and I've got a number of notes I've not got to, but I want to get that last page up and then work on uploading. Uploading is going to be concerted in the sense that it appears the internet's spotty-ish again, so I have to sit here, judging by the last time, it took 4 hours, so I have to sit here and make sure it does not pop off, it does not disconnect. You know, I basically have to babysit the whole upload session. So, you know, I anticipate I'll be able to work on that today. There is a value, all things considered, of being able to wear the outre hat, because in a sense I am being my own it's no different than the competitive marketplace. You have a notion of God and evil and the devil. When you're putting them in the same container, in the same mark, to reoppose, to rep pose, to reoppose, to reap pose. And obviously, I can do the same thing in my own container. Playing my own devil's advocate, being outre, well, I'm being outre, but guess what? You are along for the ride, and we are suffering contingencies in advance, in stride. You know, we're looking at things. Why? Because I'm the driver. D-R-I-V-E-R. Isn't the river the one it separates? Oh, look, river. Rive. Rive is to split or tear apart violently. Figurative. He was riven with guilt. Archaic. Split or crack. Wood or stone. The wood was riven with deep cracks. Split or crack. No object. Archaic. I started to chop furiously, the dry wood riving and splintering under the axe. From Old Norse, R-I-F-A, of unknown ultimate origin. Just start filling in those gaps of what's unknown. All right, so I believe we're about ready to go. I have a couple ideas, and I've just been thinking about these. I haven't quite formulated them a lot, but the first blush goes a bit like this. I would like to, for me, I would like to make product that you can only buy through subscription. So the subscription would be on the Patreon website, and the Patreon website also would, then you're getting even money. So you pay for it with even money. So that's one idea. IDEA. to make the silk even money, and that you receive that as part of your subscription. Even your virtual bank, and that's kind of exciting. Have an online bank with with your a.ve even money that you accrue with your subscription, monthly subscription, that you can spend to buy product of myself and anyone else on that patron website, that umbrella, as it were, and also that it's backed in actual silk money, so you can withdraw it. You know, there can be the charge to send it and the handling fee. You know, which is no different than, you know, the marketplace attaches handling fees and costs to lend physical product. And so that's one idea. It also allows me to consider making product as indigenously as I can and to put it on the website. And they can only be bought that way. And why? Because, you know what, all I have up there that I'm giving you is giving a person is a zero bank account, an honest zero, and there's no product, so it's like, why buy into it? Well, obviously, attach your name to spirituality. Oh, you think attaching it to me is not spiritual, but attaching it to the Tao with war. And every one of your religious paintings is p-ain't-t-inn -e-d Tao with war. Your religious paintings are all hyphenated. You go to the Vatican and hold hands and stare at the Last Judgment. That painting is hyphenated. And so is your -man-d. Doffed. Hand, doff, stand. Hyphenated. You're bringing the same head of reflection, defend. Now, this doesn't really stand out or stand as doubt because you don't have an honest review. TAREVIEWE ADIT tooth HD. So you staying in a jacked off estate and testate is never, and being painted and plated for that, hyphenated, is not because of your faith, but because you manufactured it, hyphenated, act, and with that F hyphen, put a T hyphen. You manufactured your faith, -H, -D. It's ironic you speak of faith, having faith. Oh, fuck me dry. You would only have a D hyphen, A hyphen, B hyphen, R hyphen, ID hyphen, E hyphen. You only have a bide of a B hyphen ride, of a bride that's been bridal doffed. Okay, to toft. What? On your own money. You foresaw GA. Guaranteed annual wage. W-E-D. You saw God? You saw your GA wed. hyphenated. You have no faith, you have no circumference in your spirituality to lend a tooth of grace to said and stead and stayed the ID place. You laced with love. By having lent it even do of, even DHOVE, because you were there. And it was your decision deliberately, not stupidly, because the competitive marketplace gives you the opportunity to decide between sup-ID or tup-ID or stupid. Okay, that's your choice. There's no honest choice in the competitive marketplace. It was never meant to be even, only thief end. Making up this will of a story of your do, it's hyphenated. Dudes. Dudes talking to each other and calling that dues. It's hyphenated. So your fucking will of a story has conceptually no savior. Doth can't conceive, and the sheep don't desire. Honestly, if you don't desire honestly, you don't desire tone. You don't desire a tone, honestly. So we're back to words and reflecting on them. Your Bible bled doft. It's hyphenated. You get the same goddamn war you sent oft. Hyphenated. Okay. Stop milking me that you are going to come and that you would have, you wouldn't have. The opportunity is not. It's here. And it's right here. I don't need your HEIR if you're not HERE. Okay? You're just milking me to a pay and pate hyphenated for you to stay fiefin, lie, and lean hyphen D. That does not go odd enough. In my estimation of interest, tossed, and also the toss, O-T, sought. So we're back to, you never carried principle every step. You never carried it. Your sentiments are bullshit. It's hyphenated, John Stamos. It's hyphenated. And you're pushing the same hyphenated bullshit, a re-round, and a re-G-round. You're calling it grace and gravity. You can't yield. Okay? You can't yield and keep your current till, because your till is hyphen I-L-L. Hyphen. Okay. So are we having fun yet? I mean, I know you were sitting pretty earlier and I didn't quite understand it, so I thought I'd just have a little comment. I haven't disappeared. I've been working in the heat. I've been working a couple of jobs that make money against your fucking time while you sit pretty on your fucking dime that you can't afford. Can't believe it's 12 o'clock already. Alright, we're going to do this thing.